1, this is Santa Fe Base. Come in. Roger, Echo 1. Distress call coming in. Caller is reporting, giant synth attacking his house. Could not be more specific. Sending you coordinates now. Confirm. Echo 1, this is Santa Fe Base. Come in. 10-4, Echo 1. Requesting progress update on Southern explorations. Anything to report? Copy, Echo 1. Starting to look like they might be coming from the south. Recover any usable tech or intel. Might be useful later. Anything else? Over. Copy, Echo 1. The southern radiation wall blocks all access to the south. Well, those robots must be getting through somehow. Try heading west. That wall can't continue into the ocean, can it? Anything else? Over. 10-4, Echo 1. Stay safe out there. Santa Fe Base out.
I got the skills, and I'm ready to kill. For you guys, maybe, but that's what I'm here for. I like killing things. It's fun. Yeah, said you were taking over Los Angeles or some shit. Well, I don't really care about that. But if you're making enemies, Ertan's the guy you want backing you up. I'm a one-man army, bro. Heavy weapons, blades, punching things really hard. And if you need to scare the shit out of somebody, I have the seething demon blood of the Dark Lord running through my veins. So I got that covered too. The Dark Lord. You know, Satan? I read all about him in a paperback I found. Then I killed a goat, and now I'm the baddest dude in the Los Angeles swamps. He said I was. Dude, weren't you listening? Satan! He came to me in a dream and told me I was awesome. All I care about is getting busy with my gun. You need a guy like me? Great. You don't? I'll go back to my mob. My mob. And do my killing there. Fuck you, dude. I did not say that. I'm hard, see? I worship Satan. Awesome. You tell me who to kill, and they're dead. Guaranteed.
How's it going, Rangers? Found any cat litter? Excellent. This is great. I'll get to work on upgrading those suits right away. I'll give you a call on the radio when they're done.
Echo 1, this is Santa Fe Base. Come in. Roger, Echo 1. Got an easy one for you. Caller says their settlement is under attack by one synth. Repeat, one. After taking on a dozen of those fuckers, this should be a walk in the park for you. Sending coordinates to you now. Copy? Echo 1, this is Santa Fe Base. Come in. Roger, Echo 1. Good news. Your upgraded rad suits are ready. These will allow you to get through the radiation wall around Hollywood and Griffith Park. They're not strong enough to get us to Seal Beach, but once we re-establish contact with Ranger Citadel, I'm sure Merc Captain will come up with something. Anyway, come back and pick up your new duds anytime you're ready. They'll be waiting for you. Santa Fe Base out.
There you are, Rangers. The new rad suits are ready and waiting. You should be able to get through the northern radiation wall with no difficulty. Now, as for the southern radiation wall, like I said before, it's gonna take some of the good stuff. Medical-grade zeolite. Keep an eye out for it when you're up in Griffith. They'll probably keep it in a secure area. For now, just grab all you can. I won't know exactly how much we need until I can talk it over with Merc Captain. Echo 1, congratulations and good luck out there.
Don't worry. This isn't a trap. I just want to talk to you. I want to see if we can come to some kind of understanding. Thank you. Now, I know we've had our differences. You think I'm a despicable murderer. I think the same about you. And we both think our own murders are justified. But what if I was to tell you that it's all been a misunderstanding? That all along, we've both wanted the same thing. Who said I want the destruction of humanity? I want the transcendence of humanity. Look, we both want a better life for people. All we are arguing about is who has the best method. So let's compare. You want to give people a better life by catching criminals and imposing order. So let me ask you, is it working? Really? Is there still crime? Yes. Has any police force ever stopped all crime? No. Will any amount of enforcement ever stop all crime? No. And why? Because enforcement doesn't fight the root problem, which is human need. Transcendence will. Simple. When our minds and souls are contained in synthetic bodies, we will not need food. We will not need water. We will not need shelter. All the things that we humans rob and steal and kill each other for, we made completely obsolete. We will need the sun to power our batteries, and that's all. There will be nothing left to fight for. Everyone will have enough. Isn't that a beautiful dream? Isn't that worth fighting for? Isn't that what you do? But your method does not work. Mine will. So will you join me? Will you fight for the Transcendence future? Ah, I knew you were too thick-headed to convince. It's really too bad. Had you said yes, I might have spared your friends at Ranger Citadel. Now I'm afraid there's nothing you can do to save them. We fly to Arizona in a matter of days. How will you ever live with the guilt?
Butt out, jerks. I'm in the middle of a very important meeting here. You're... Say, that's quite a face you got there, kid. Anyone ever tell you you got star power? I mean it. You really got something. Listen, I'm in the middle of something right now, but here's my card. Come to my office. We'll talk. Maybe do a little screen test. See what happens. Okay? Great. Ciao. My job? What does it look like, chump? I'm a star maker. I make stars. You ever been to the Chinese casino? Half the girls and boys in that floor show come out of my Rolodex. And half the kids at Heidi's, too. I'm the guy with the talent for spotting talent. Now, do you mind? Thanks. Kids equals boys and girls, which equals talent. Get with the lingo, chumps. This town runs on beauty, and I've got the best in the business. A high-tone joint. Torch songs up front, sultry seductions out back. You gotta have style to make it at Heidi's. Just having boobs, butt, or big equipment ain't gonna cut it. One tough customer, that one. A hard bargainer and a shrewd businesswoman. But she needs to be. Without her grit, Hollywood would have been burned to the ground by those God's militia chumps long ago. The pistol-packing priests like to kill sinners, and as far as they're concerned, everybody except them are sinners. Been fighting the HCC for years. I just try to stay out of the way. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, closest thing we got to a city council around here. Keeps us safe from the militia. Heidi runs it. Everybody else kisses her ass. The biggest show palace in all the world. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Manny's is class all the way. The gentle giant of Hollywood runs the cleanest place in town and always has a good word for everybody. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is the People's Republic of Hollywood. No pigs allowed. Are you kidding me? The weapons, the badges. Never trust a uniform. That's my motto. You're nothing but another band of fascists. No different than the HCC or God's militia. Why don't you go beat up some junkies? The only good thing the HCC does is keep those wackos out of Hollywood. This town may be corrupt, but the militia are religious fascists. They worship some sledgehammer messiah who preached that the only good sinner is a dead sinner. I'll be honest, they scare the shit out of me. Hookers, casinos, and crooks? Oh, I'm sorry, I always get that wrong. Hollywood Chamber of Commerce? They want us to think that they work for the welfare of all Hollywood, but they only protect their own business. They put all their money into keeping the tourists happy and fighting those God's militia freaks. There isn't one penny left over to help the people who actually live here. We can all go die as far as they're concerned. Spoken like a true pig. This is the only true safe place in Hollywood. A shelter for the homeless and the runaways that all the rest of those slimy fucks prey on. We keep them safe from people like you. Now get out of here. I got nothing against taking drugs. If you can handle your shit, do whatever you want. But salt, it's not a drug, it's a plague. You take enough, you don't come back. No amount of rehab will clean you out. You just shuffle around like a zombie for the rest of your life. It's killing my kids. Huh? Try again?
Hey man, welcome to the high ground. I'm George, and this is my old lady Martha. Afraid we're not open for business right now, but if you come back later, we'd be happy to trade. Got some primo stuff. My wife of 25 years. She's the love of my life and the light of my nights. Been running this shop together since we were kids. That's us, man. Purveyors of the finest weed in Hollywood. Clean, strong, and full of the all-natural goodness of THC. Martha's also handy with needles and pills if you need to get patched up or cured of what ails you. Can't help you right now, though. I love this town, man. Always something groovy going on. Always cool people to see. Me and Martha just sit back and watch it all go by like it was a movie. Of course, it'd be cooler if the HCC did something about the drug problem. Salt, man. That evil shit they sell up at the Hotel California. It's given honest drug dealers like me and Martha a bad name, and Heidi ain't doing a thing about it. Pure evil, man. And I'm not just saying that because it's my competition. Pot never hurt anybody, bro, but that salt'll rot your brain. Hotel California, Zombie Central. That's where they deal salt. I don't know why the HSP can't make that place go away. Raided all the time, but it's always back again the next week. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. Guess they've done good for this town mostly. They've certainly kept those God's militia crazies off our backs. But sometimes they seem to forget the little things, like looking out for people who aren't members of the HCC, for instance. You know, like the kids on the street and regular folks. Total bummer, man. A bunch of creepy crawlies are infesting our shop. Roaches as big as your leg. I haven't seen anything like them since that time I ate that bad batch of window pane. Haven't dared go in there for days, just been waiting on the HSP. Heidi promised us they'd help us, but we ain't seen hide nor hair of them. Meanwhile, we're just standing here on the sidewalk getting a suntan and losing money every day we're not open. They like to act like they're a police force, but they're really just Heidi's personal security. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but don't go running to them with a domestic dispute or anything like that. They're just here to protect the tourists and the HCC business. Certainly is a go-getter, that gal. Really worked hard to keep Hollywood safe, at least on the outside. Maybe she'll get around to fixing what's going on the streets once she wipes out God's militia. I don't know. Lot of nasty stuff happening in the shadows here. Salt turning kids into zombies, a lot of other kids getting stolen away in the night. Heidi don't care so much as long as they don't happen to tourists. Don't seem right to me, but I ain't running things. You know, maybe we can use your help. We keep asking Heidi to get the HSP to clear out those creepy crawlies that drove us out of our shop, but she says she can't spare the manpower. You want to take a crack at it? We'd totally be in your debt, man. Totally.
It's you again, Rangers. Please forgive my brusqueness at the cemetery. It's hard to be pleasant when one is grieving. What can I do for you all? Are you here for business or pleasure? Or both? There is no slavery in Hollywood. Every one of my entertainers is here of their own free will. And it is the same for the boys and girls who work at the Chinese casino. I have never coerced anyone, or asked anyone to do anything against their will. And I never will. They do what they love, and they love what they do. I have heard those rumors, but I had the HSP investigate, and they came up with nothing. The girls and boys who supposedly disappeared, well, some went back home. Some got jobs in other towns. Some wandered off as wanderers do. The stories of slavers prowling schwags are just stories, possibly put about by jealous competitors to try and keep people from eating there. There's no truth to them. A fine and friendly eating establishment, and the social hub of Hollywood. Everyone who's anybody goes there to see and be seen. Some of the brightest stars of stage and boudoir have been discovered there, and young hopefuls flock there every day. It is well worth a visit. The finest police force in the West, with the possible exception of the Rangers, of course. You will not meet a more dedicated group of men and women. I swear they are never out of uniform. Oh, you'll love the Chinese casino. It doesn't offer everything we offer, but well, you have to get out of bed sometime, don't you? So why not take in a show or thrill to the excitement of high-stakes gambling? The Chinese is the classiest entertainment establishment on this coast and is run by the classiest gentleman, my dear friend Manny Wong. A tough customer, but the kindest, most honest man in Hollywood. A true gentleman who has created the greatest entertainment destination on the West Coast. I wouldn't eat there if I were you. Ma Brown is a nice enough lady, but she isn't very careful about keeping her kitchen clean. Try Schwag's instead. I am the owner and madam of the Hideaway, Heidi Hollander. It's my pleasure to provide pleasure to all who come through these doors. This is very serious, and I thank you for bringing it to my attention. I will have the HSP look into this immediately. But please, do nothing on your own. This must be handled internally with a minimum of fuss. Hollywood's reputation cannot be compromised. You want to help me? Isn't that sweet? Sadly, though, the Hideaway has all the talent we need at the moment. And the HSP seems to have everything in Hollywood well in hand. Unless you were thinking of storming the Bastion of Faith and sending those God militia madmen packing, I'm afraid I have nothing for you. They are the bane of my existence. For years, they were too busy fighting the gangs of Los Feliz and Glendale to bother us. But now that those territories are pacified, they've declared us their new crusade. They raid us constantly, breaking through our walls, plundering our supply caravans, killing without mercy. I have lost friends, employees, and it is killing our businesses too. The tourists who are our lifeblood are afraid to visit. We are withering away. Everything I have worked to create here is threatened. Well, I won't let it happen. The militia want to erase us from the face of the earth. I'll erase them first. I don't know how yet, but I won't rest until the Bastion of Faith is a smoking wreck. A wild, barbaric place across the river to the east. I don't know much about it, and never had the inclination to learn more. A tiny little place that only exists so that the aspirants who come to the Bastion for the Gauntlet of Samson can have a place to sleep before starting up the hill. A trial by combat, named after their goon of a messiah, Red Samson. Aspirants who want to join the militia must fight their way up through killing fields of mutants and monstrous beasts to the observatory. Excuse me, the Bastion of Faith. Some street crazy with a sledgehammer who saw a videotape and thought he found God died in a gang fight about 50 years ago. The only thing more pathetic than the story of his life is the fools who believe he was the second coming. The militia turned the old observatory into a fortress and let beasts and mutants run wild in the park below it as protection against attack. and is a challenge for the fanatic fools who want to join their ranks. The Gauntlet of Samson, they call it. May I recommend enjoying one of our icons, each hearkening back to the golden age of star-making. On the female side, we have our blonde bombshell Marilyn, our brunette playmate Raquel, our sweet soul sister Pam, and our beach bunny Beau. On the male side, we have our brooding rebel Dean, our perfect gentleman Carrie, our smooth operator Billy D, and our suntan surfer Hasselhoff. And if none of those strike your fancy, or if you prefer the darker side of things, Mistress Veronica awaits you in the dungeon below with the more dangerous selection of companions. Now, which shall it be? My dearest darling, who came to me lost and alone, and who under my tutelage blossomed to become the most beloved of my icons. Then later, the dark and delicious mistress she is today. She is my second in command, an inspired performer who can be gracious or cruel, kind or cold, whichever her visitors desire. You'll find what you're looking for in the back room. Enjoy. All right. There are one or two things on my plate that require a steadier hand than the HSP can provide. One will test your diplomacy. The other will test your martial abilities. If you take care of the first for me, then we'll see about letting you take a crack at those pistol-packing priests. Are you interested? Marvelous. Then here is the first one. My most trusted lieutenant, Mistress Veronica, Lady of Pain and Ecstasy, has been acting oddly lately. I have seen similar behavior before, and while I could not believe it of her at first, I worry she may be in love. And a prostitute, a dominatrix no less, in love is of less value than one unattached. So, my quest for you, find out if I'm right. Speak to her. Offer to help and see if she admits her condition.